welcome back. How you're doing? Hope you're well. So today we thought we'd do a little mini van tour because a lot of people have been asking about the van, because we did stop doing the daily videos and a lot of the van build we didn't actually record. So we thought that we'd take the opportunity to show you around.
So on the outside of the van we haven't actually done that much. What we have done though is we put a ladder on the back door, which helps us obviously get up and down off the roof. And there is a uni-strut roof rack which we made ourselves on top of the roof that we just bolted down. And on top of that we have two 270 watt solar panels. We also installed a roof vent and we installed a 4G antenna, so we have like 4G permanently inside the van, which is awesome, especially obviously when working online. So other than that, we haven't really done anything else to the outside of the van. We do plan on painting it and doing loads of other bits, but that's will be when it's a bit warmer and not in the middle of winter. So now let's go inside the van and we'll show you all the good bits that we've actually got done.
So the first thing we did was sound deaden the van. On top of that we put acoustic foam and 100ml of recycled wool. And then we put cladding on top, which we have painted white on the sides, and we've stained the roof. And it's been good so far, although with the heating it has shrunk a bit, so in the summer we will need to repaint that.
So for the floor as well, we have 25mm Celotex to insulate it, and then what we put on top of that is a lino so we can wash it, especially with having rocky, that makes it a lot easier. Now we'll get onto the kitchen, which is kind of the best bit about this van, I suppose, because in the other van it was pretty terrible. What we've actually done is this is all built from just timber, so square timber and stuff like that. The doors are obviously cladded, and we've got like loads of doors around, and it's an L, as you can see, which gives a lot of space because we have obviously a nice bit of worktop here to actually work on and have the chopping board and stuff. And then we've actually got like a full-size sink over here, which is good as well because we didn't have one of them in the other van. We have running water. We have a 4-ring gas hob over here, so we was contemplating between this or the Voyager 4500, which has an oven and a grill and it only has 2 rings on top. But we decided to go with this because it's a lot cheaper. This was only £100, and we didn't think the Voyager was actually that good from what we've seen online. Yeah, so we kind of went with this idea instead. And so far it's been great because we have the Omnia oven and stuff, so we can use it like an oven anyway on top. Yeah, so it's been really good having more space in the kitchen, more storage and stuff, having running water. Compared to the old van, it's brilliant. And for our water, we'll speak about that now. Basically it's in here, so we have a grey water tank, which is at the front, which is kind of a bit horrible because, as you probably see, it's minging. And we have our fresh water at the back, and then we have a 12 volt pump that like pumps up to that tap, which has a switch in it. And that's literally all it is. It's pretty simple to fit and install, and it just works well, so it's good and cheap. And we also have in here is a gasset refillable LPG tank for our gas hob, and we've fitted that this time as well, where last time we had a Calagas, so this is a big improvement. It's a bit pricier up front cost, but over the long run it actually works out cheaper, because the LPG to actually buy is actually really cheap. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the storage. The rest of these are literally just like cupboards and stuff. I mean, there's nothing else interesting in it. We do store our porta potty in this cupboard down here, so it's nice and easy to get out and get in. We also have a fridge, as you can see here. We haven't actually used this yet because we're on the farm, because obviously it's in lockdown. We're using the fridge here that's on the farm. They've got like an outdoor fridge and we're using that. But we are using it to store things in, and we have tested it and stuff and it all works fine, so that's good. They are expensive. And you don't really need a fridge, like we didn't really need one too much in the other van, but it's nice to have, so we thought we'd put one in, because in the summer we can keep actual milk and stuff like that, before we couldn't because it was obviously too hot. Other than that, that's the kitchen area done really. We have up here, we have a big storage box, and we decided to go with just having it open like this, so we could store all the things up here that we'd use on a daily basis. And make it nice and easy to get to. There's loads of bits that need tidying up, and like on the side here we're gonna have a bin, and then we're gonna have a shoe rack and stuff, so the van is far from being done, but it's at least livable. So the last thing over this side of the van is actually our clothes storage, which is up here, and that just folds down like so, and we have all our clothes stored up there. It actually doesn't get too cold because there is a little bit of insulation up there, not much but a little bit. It's not too bad because we was unsure if that would get moldy or anything, but so far it's been alright. But it's nice and easy to get to and works like a treat, and it kind of hides this big weird mount that you get in Iveco dailies that's like here, and that kind of hides it and tidies it up a little bit. And I'll let Tabitha speak about the rest of the van.
So on to our seating area, and this is where we actually spend most of our time. We haven't actually covered our seating right now. We've just got some covers and we've just used that for now. We're not 100% sure what we're going to be doing with that now, so it kind of works all right at the minute and they're easy to wash. but they are really nice and comfy, and it's so nice to have our own space, and they are really big as well. But we also have as well, which is a really big improvement because we didn't have this in the old van, is a table, and it pulls out, so it actually puts away as well, so it's not in the way, and we use it all the time. It's literally out all day. So up here we have our permanent bed, which is a life changer. So nice to be able to actually just get out of bed and roll in bed and not have to make it every day. It is a bit smaller, so it's not a double bed, and it's not as wide as a normal bed either. It isn't really an issue for me, it's more of an issue for Liam, but he usually just lays sideways and it's not too bad. But it is something that Liam isn't too happy with. So I forgot to mention that our chairs are also little storage bins. So this one here, which is Liam's chair because he gets a big one, is all our food storage, and this one here is Rocky's, so he's a spoiled boy. And the star of the show down here, this is his little bed here.
You come for a fuss. Oh boy, what are you doing? Oh, you give him a kiss.
So Rocky has a really nice comfortable bed, and to be honest I think he gets more space in the van than we do. But he doesn't actually spend the nights down here, he actually sleeps on the bed, but he does spend the day in here, and he has all his toys and he can just hide away in there. So I'm going to speak about the electrics because I installed it all and Tabitha doesn't really know much about it, so it's better that I explain it all. So obviously in the roof we have 10 LED lights, and they are controlled by a remote over here, which is really cool. We've like velcroed that to the side of the bed so we can operate it in bed. We also have a diesel heater. It's just a cheap Chinese diesel heater, the 2 to 5 kilowatt version. And it still is too hot for this van. We still have issues with it where we set it to like 20 degrees and then we wake up in the morning and it's like 31 degrees and we're both sweating. So yeah, it's good and it keeps it really hot, but it does gain even after like you've set it to the temperature and stuff. I don't know if it's just because we have good insulation or a small van or something, I don't really know. But it is really good and we wouldn't be without it. Over this side is basically all of our electrics, like control panel area. So we have our 4G box over here, which is obviously linked up to our aerial, which is mounted on the roof. And then we have our MPPT control panel, this here. Then we have a 240 volt sockets, which is linked up to our inverter, which is in the back. I'll take you around there in a minute and explain all that stuff. And then we've got our like switches and USB outlets here. This is just a panel that you buy off Amazon and stuff like that, and it's already come wired up and stuff, which makes it a lot easier to fit. We was going to go with like wiring up all ourselves and using nice switches and stuff, but we just couldn't be bothered, to be fair, and we went for an easier route, which is this is, and it actually works a treat, so it's fine. And I'll go around there and explain all that, because it's kind of shoved out the back and you can't see it from this way. So this here is our B2B. It's a Sterling 30 amp B2B, works a treat in the winter. I think this is essential because our solar panels, which are linked up to this, which is a 50 amp EP of a Tracer MPPT, you don't get that much solar in the winter, so this is a must. And it's a bit of a mess here because I'm no professional, but it all works and it's all safe, and there's fuses and stuff. There's a kill switch there. Our batteries, we have 3 130 amp AGM batteries, and they are fine, they seem to do the job. We would like lithium batteries, but they're just too expensive at the minute, we can't really afford them. And then that back there is our inverter. And then other than that, really, it's just kind of junction boxes and stuff. It looks a bit of a spider web down there, but yeah, it's alright, it does the job and it's safe. And then obviously we have our diesel heater, fuel tank mounted here, and then we actually have our diesel heater like put under our storage area. So none of this is finished off, as you can see, but the diesel heater is mounted down there and works a treat. And then this area here is like a big storage bin. Again, it's not finished off, but it works for the time being. We are gonna like add a lot more to this area and it needs a lot more finishing. So that's it for this little minivan tour. We thought we'd just make a video just showing you around rather than constantly explaining to people what's what on that lot, because obviously people was asking. So hopefully that's answered all your questions and now you know what the van looks like. We will make a video though in the summertime once we've done the rest of the work to the van, because there is so much more to do and it will look so different once it's actually done, all the things we have planned for it and stuff. But we are getting the video, so thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.